Greetings, everyone. I hope you are doing well and having a great week. This is my presentation for EDL 556, Technology in Higher Education. In this presentation, I will be giving my final report of my technology consultation project and provide a reflection about the overall project. What is a QR code? A QR code is a two-dimensional barcode that can be used on devices such as a mobile device or laptop computer, which once accessed will allow an individual to see a website or be able to text a number from a contact list. My client for the technology consultation project was the Office of Transition Programs. The mission for transition programs is to provide programming that engages students into a smooth transition at UNCW. Programming for the office includes convocation, orientation, family alumni weekend, and commencement. The mission for the consultation project was to provide a report on the utilization of technology within the Office of Transition Programs. The report will focus on providing information and make recommendations for new technology that could be implemented with the programming for the Office of Transition Programs. Goals for this project was broken down into 3 goals. 1. To understand QR codes and their connection to higher education. 2. To research institutions that utilize QR codes in their orientation process. And 3. To present findings of QR codes and make recommendations on implementing QR codes during the orientation process. And the purpose for the overall project was to implement an efficient way to check in students for orientation sessions and provide students with all necessary information throughout the particular orientation session. For my deliverable, I decided to do a video presentation with the accompaniment of a PowerPoint to present my findings for the project. If you would like to review the deliverable, there's a link here on your screen for you to click, and it will take you right to it. Within my presentation, I was able to show the creation on how to create a QR code and provide recommendations on how to implement QR codes within the orientation process. Based upon my findings, I saw that institutions were using QR codes within their orientation process. However, the schools was not using it for check-in purposes. Mostly, they were using it for they were using it for access to orientation schedules, university maps, and contact information for their particular office. I was not able to find schools or institutions at this time that shows that they were using a QR code for check-in during the orientation process. I met all my project goals with the exception of actually trying to show that a QR code could be implemented within the student check-in. And I believe it can only because due to some of the websites that I was looking at for QR code generators, there are many features that can show that will be able to provide links to a particular that we can enforce within the QR code that will be able to link up with the content information for that individual. Some of the strengths that I had for this project was most importantly to the instructor and client support overall. Throughout the project, I was able to have access to both the instructor and client. For the client, I was prior to the project and to this course, I was doing an internship with the Office of Transition Programs, meaning working with orientation and trying to see any ways to improve on the orientation process. Thus, having already built having a working relationship with the professional staff in transition programs. and as well as having the accessibility to both the instructor and client, meaning that the instructor was willing to come to were able to come to meetings and making sure that the project was going along smoothly. And then lastly, second thing for having a strength was the curiosity or willingness to learn about a new technology component tool that could be implemented through a actual programming. The limitations for this project that I saw was basically the minimal information on the subject of QR codes. The information for the QR codes was confined to two areas within higher education, mainly to libraries and classrooms. Libraries use QR codes for making reservations, access to information and that is online, as well as access to digital references that could be used within a for a student. And the classrooms was another place that QR codes was implemented from, do use within accessing forms as well as surveys for students and activities for their assignments. And the second one was to having time. Because this course was 4 weeks, and because was 4 weeks, and the QR code was 3 weeks, I did not have enough time, did not allow myself enough time to fully develop the project. Therefore, was not able to really show a truly effective project to my expectations. I was able to give the client a working world deliverable. However, there was a few things that I saw that could have been made and changed drastically in order to prove the effectability for the project overall. So my recommendations for this project was to provide a proposal component for the project. This means that prior to the proposal will happen after the initial meeting or second meeting of meeting with the client, and prior to the performing of the action plan. The proposal component, it will be able to help have a recording of showing all the discussion that was talked, technology that was talked about, and also narrowing down a particular technology component or technology topic that the client would like to see and be implemented throughout the program, throughout their particular organization. And we, as the student and the learner, will be able to help stay focused and follow up with the client about the proposal, and then therefore be able to create a effective and accurate action plan for the particular project, and as well as also having additional time. Additional time was very vital for this project. This project can, from my understanding, or for the caliber such as this, looking, it's not a 4 week thing or 2 week project. This is actually, to me, a full semester project, meaning from a 8 to 16 week project, in order to have an affordable and effectability for the deliverable and the effectability overall for the project. Overall, the project was a great and exciting experience, based upon I was able to have new knowledge of new technology within higher education, and be able to introduce my findings and introduce my report back my knowledge about QR codes to the Office of Transition Programs, and hopefully help build a foundation about the topic and about how to implement it thoroughly and through the orientation process um, for transition programs. And I was able to meet all the majority of my project goals with the project goals that I set forth within the project. Thank you so much for listening to my project, and have a great day.